Welcome to the LeakProof Life, the podcast that finally gives high-achieving women the whole picture on bladder leaks. I'm Dr. Juhi Patel, holistic pelvic floor PT, founder of Everwell Rehab, and the person who's going to tell you that kegels, cutting coffee, and wearing a liner were never the full answer. Around here, we ditch the generic advice and go way beyond exercises. We get to the real reasons your bladder is running your life, your nervous system, your stress, your gut, your hormones, your habits, the whole picture finally. This is the show for women who has it together in every area of her life except this one. The one who hasn't told anyone. The one who is exhausted from managing around it and ready to actually fix it. Common doesn't mean normal, and normal doesn't mean permanent. This is your sign to stop managing and start fixing. Let's go. If you have been doing kegels, cutting coffee, seeing different doctors, and your bladder urgency is still not getting better, doing all this for years, doing all the right things, and nothing has actually shifted, I need you to hear this. That is not a you problem. That is a missing piece problem. You were not doing the kegels wrong. You were not inconsistent. You were not too far gone. You were just working on the wrong layer. Nobody told you there was another layer. That's what today is about. You were right to keep looking. You were right to not just accept this. And you are in the right place right now. So here's the thing that changed how I think about all of this. Your bladder doesn't actually work alone. It's in this constant back and forth with your nervous system. They're talking to each other all day long. And your nervous system, it's the one running the entire show. Your bladder is just following the orders, which means when you have been doing kegels, you have been working on the muscle. But the muscle isn't the one giving the instruction. Your nervous system is. And that's why the kegel didn't fix it. That's why cutting coffee helped a little bit, but not really. That's why you can have a good week and one stressful day just undoes everything. Because stress is a nervous system thing. And your bladder is listening to your nervous system every single second of every single day. Your bladder isn't broken. It's been taking orders from a nervous system that never got the memo that emergency is over. Read that again. Because once that lands, everything else is going to make sense. Okay, so let me walk you through what's actually happening. When you're stressed, doesn't matter if it's a big thing or just a really full day, your body releases stress hormones. And your nervous system basically goes into this low-level protection mode. And one of the first things it does is send signal to your bladder. Not because your bladder is full, not because anything is actually wrong, just because your nervous system flags something and your bladder is the part of that response. So your bladder starts signaling earlier and earlier than it needs to. The urge shows up sooner in your pelvic floor, which is already holding so much tension because your body is tense, gets irritated on the top of that. And here's the part I really want you to sit with. The anxiety you feel about your bladder, the worry about leaking, the panic, the urge that hits, that's stress too, which goes right back into the same loop. You feel the urge, you panic, the panic makes the urgency worse, which makes you more anxious, which makes it worse again. You weren't imagining it getting worse. When you were stressed, it genuinely was getting worse because worry is a nervous system event and your bladder was picking up every bit of it. Now think about the last time things were really bad, like a really rough day with it. What else was going on? Were you rushing? Were you stressed? Traveling? Out of your routine? In back-to-back meetings with no break? Almost every woman I have worked with When we trace it back, every time the answer is yes. There was something. There's always something. Here is the reality. Women who are carrying a lot, performing at a high level, holding everything together at work and at home, the nervous system are often running in this kind of low level threat mode for most of the day. Just because that's what that kind of load does to your body every time. Cortisol staying elevated, pelvic floor staying braced, bladder staying on the edge, and then someone hands her a kegel sheet and says, "Good luck." I say that with so much love for every provider who has ever done that, but a kegel sheet was never going to touch any of this major root cause. Quick pause, because I want to tell you something. When I first started explaining the nervous system piece to my clients, the thing I just walked you through, the most common response I got was, "Okay, but what do I actually do with this right now?" And I get that. Understanding the why is powerful, but you need a where to start. So I built it. It's called the 10-minute bladder reset. It's $27. It's the exact sequence I walk my clients through when we are addressing the nervous system layer. It's super simplified, step by step, designed to fit inside a real day. It's not a program, it's not a commitment, just the reset your bladder has been waiting for. Just 10 minutes a day. Link is in the show notes. Okay, back to the fixes. 3 things, and I mean it when I say you can start today. Fix number 1, the physiological side. Start here. This is your pattern interrupt. The thing you do in the moment before the urge takes over, before the panic sets in. Here is what you do. Breathe in through your nose. Then before you breathe out, sniff in just a tiny bit more on the top of that. Like a little top of breath. And then one long, slow exhale out through your mouth, all the way out, longer than the inhale. Do that 3 times. That double inhale fully inflates your lungs, and the long exhale, that's what actually triggers the calming response in your nervous system. Use it before you walk into something stressful. Use it when the urgency wave hits. Use it in the lift before a meeting, in the car, in the bathroom, before you go on the stage. Your nervous system responds to it, and when your nervous system calms down, your bladder follows. Fix number 2, stop the just in case pee. Now that you have a tool for the moment, this one is about the habit underneath it. The thing you're doing every single day that is quietly managing the loop tighter. Every time you go to the bathroom before your bladder is actually ready, you're reinforcing to your nervous system that this is an emergency that needs to be dealt with right now. You're making the loop tighter every single time you do it. So starting today, try waiting for a real urge, not desperate, just a genuine signal, and then go. If you're going every 45 minutes, just in case, try stretching it to an hour, then a bit longer, and gradually increase it. You're literally retraining the conversation between your brain and your bladder, and this is where that starts. Fix 3, the urge pause. This one builds on both. You have the breath, you understand the habit. Now this is where you actually start rewriting the signal. When the urgency wave hits, don't run. I know that goes against every instinct you have, but stay with me. Pause, stay where you are if you can. Sit down if possible. Do 3 to 5 quick pelvic floor squeezes, fast little flicks. Squeeze and release, squeeze and release. Not long, slow holds, quick ones. Those quick contractions sends a signal back to your bladder. Not yet, we are good, and calm down. And your bladder actually listens, the wave starts to slowly ease, and you are kind of letting it pass. And then walk normally. Try not to sprint. to the bathroom when you feel like you're in control of the situation. The first time you try this, it's going to feel impossible. That's fine. Even 10 seconds of pause is 10 seconds of teaching your nervous system something new. Every time you do it, you're kind of rewriting the story. Urgency is not an emergency. I am in charge here, not my bladder. That's it. 3 things: the physiological sigh, stop the just in case habit, and third, the urge pause. You don't need any equipment, no appointments to worry about, no routines that take 45 minutes. Just 3 things that you have to implement it in your real life. Pick one and start there. I want to tell you about someone I worked with. Let's call her Claire, senior leader at a tech company. Packed calendar, travel every other week. The kind of woman who is absolutely on the top of every single thing in her life, except this. 3 years of urgency, she has done kegels every day. Cut her coffee down to 1 cup. Seen 2 different doctors, nothing really shifted. When we started working together, the first thing I did was explain exactly what I just explained to you. The nervous system piece, the stress loop, why everything she had tried couldn't reach what was actually driving it. And she just looked at me and said, "Nobody ever told me that before. Everyone just gave me exercises." Within 2 weeks of focusing on the nervous system layer, the breathing, urge pause, just understanding what was happening in her body, her urgency had come down. It started to significantly go down. And there's no magic in this, but it's just following the right direction and a right approach to understand first and then implementing. Just finally working on the right thing. That's what's available to you too. Before you go, I want to leave you with something. Just honestly, the women I work with who shift the fastest are not the one who try the hardest. They are the one who get real about the pattern first. 3 questions. If you can write this down, do that for me. Number 1, when your urgency is at its worst, what else is going on that day? Be specific. There's almost always something. Number 2, how many times did you go to the bathroom today just in case before a real urge showed up? 3, have you ever paused when the urge hit, even for 10 seconds, instead of sprinting? If the answer is no, that is your one thing this week. Those 3 questions will show you exactly where your loop is tightest. That is your starting point. Just truth first. Last thing, DM me LeakProof on Instagram at the LeakProof PT. That's your next step if today hits differently for you. And if you want to actually work through this properly with someone who can look at your specific patterns and build something around your actual life, that's what I do. Link is in the show notes. To book a free call, we'll figure out what's driving things for you specifically and what fixing it actually looks like. Because you deserve to feel as unstoppable in your body as you are in your career. See you next Tuesday.